YouTube Nation, Maven TV, aka Me TV, aka Lies and Deception. It seems that's all these developers do, and ironically, that's the first thing we're going to talk about, which is Drake's deception. But before I get started, I want to say thank you guys for watching the show. Thank you for sending me information. And today's show is brought to you by Metroid. That's right, because even though we're a team and we are our community here, sometimes it takes one person to get the job done to see the mission through. Now, let's get on with Uncharted 3 today. For those who do not know what's been going on, oh my god. Anyways, we knew last week that Uncharted, that Naughty Dog had said that they were going to have an online pass. Well, they came out and report that it's justifiable. That's right. They're coming out and saying that Uncharted's online pass is because of server costs. What? Server? Come on, man. Come on. Stop lying to us. And I say this because, for y'all know, you don't even need multiplayer for this game. You really don't, alright? I understand there's some multiplayer fans out there, but when it comes down to it, you don't need multiplayer, alright? And I'll say this, server cost. Now, you're going to sit here and try to blame server cost when we're seeing you all over the place advertising.
Hey, I'm Nathan Drake. If you're the adventurous type like me, then get in on the Subway Taste for Adventure for a chance to win epic trips and exclusive access to Uncharted 3. Get your code on 30-ounce drinks today. Subway, where winners eat. Now.
I wonder how much that cost Naughty Dog, as if Drake isn't going to sell like hotcakes. Seriously, we all know Uncharted's going to sell. But once I heard the news, I took it upon myself to get at Naughty Dog. I find it funny for Uncharted 2, we never heard developers crying about server costs. And now, all of a sudden, it's a big deal, even though your servers aren't dedicated. And it's funny because even though I'm jumping on them, they go on to throw it back in people's faces that they're still advertising in primetime slots. I wonder how much that cost you, but that's not all. You even went the extra mile and went and got Indiana Jones himself, Harrison Ford, to plug Uncharted.
Go! And the graphics are so realistic. Go, go, go. Go. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ah! Fantastic. Oh, incredible. So, cinematic. I think it's really remarkable. The storytelling is very visual and very exciting, and the action just keeps on coming. I think it's very, which are very realistic and very dramatic. I love the reality of the character's reactions to the situation that he's in. It's very exciting. I think it's very exciting. It's very exciting. I have not ever seen a game anything like this. And also when you're playing it for the first time, it's very challenging to try and figure out how to get out of the situation that you're in, which is great. Very, I mean, it's an adventure. Very easy to get into it, and if there weren't a bunch of people around, it would be even more exciting. Oh no. Oh. it's well, there's so much more action here than there is normally in a movie. It's so much more concentrated. Of course, there are a lot more. There are a lot more when you're the actor playing in a role. There's a lot of there are a lot of other obligations that you have. But it's very much like being in the movie for me. Except in the movie I always win. In the game sometimes I don't win. Hi. Unreal. It's fantastic. Incredible. Oh, I'm delighted to have the opportunity to play this game and to talk about this game. It's very exciting. I enjoyed playing it very much. Well, it's very exciting, and it's a real adventure. You never know what's coming. Doki Doki Shita.
I see a lot of money being spent, but not in the right places if all of a sudden it's server costs. Seriously, and then all the blind fanboys start to come out. So I'm a hater now, huh? Is that it? I'm a hater? Really? I'm a hater, huh? I'm a hater? Am I really a hater? Let me tell you something, all right? Because if these were both pre-ordered first day, as soon as they were announced, I pre-ordered them, all right? It would have been the same. I did the same thing with Uncharted 3 until they started throwing all this bullshit at you. Just because I'm looking out for my consumer rights, just because I'm looking out for the better deal for me, does not mean that all of a sudden I'm a hater. You should know by now. First off, the word's being used a little too loosely around here as of late, all right? But you should know by now what these companies are doing. And if you are a fan, I've told you before, if you are a fan of certain companies, you're a blind fan, you'll get screwed in the end. You will, because you're blindly following them, even though they're pretty much raping you in the ass with all this. And for more information, Uncharted will have 2 separate games. That's right, Uncharted 3 will be 2 separate games due to the fact that the online co-op, yes, it will be a standalone story on its own, and it will show you history. That's right, the history of Nathan Drake that we haven't seen already in Uncharted 1 and 2. And you should know, in order to play online, you need the online pass. You know what that means? That's entrapment. That's what that is, all right? Because you won't get the full Uncharted experience unless you buy it new or unless you pay for that online pass for server costs. I put it like this. Why would you make a completely different story that is so-called pivotal to Uncharted but only for online if you're having server problems? If that's the case, you just put it in the game. There's no way that you would just put it online. If online is that much of a problem, because you're creating this problem with putting it online, people were happy with the game. If you didn't see Uncharted 2 back then, people were pissed off at online when they announced it at first, before they saw what happened, all right? So understand, you've created your own problem. That's what you've done. Now, I have more news for you guys, because here we go, some more raping, all right? Uncharted Fortune Hunters Club, which is a season pass, will be coming out for Uncharted. So you can pre-order DLC for cheaper. Now, a lot of people are saying, you know, well, why wouldn't you want to pre-order DLC for cheaper? You're getting a discount. First off, we shouldn't be having DLC. And just to let you guys know, it's only DLC for online. Naughty Dog has already said that there will be no single-player DLC. So you will get no more experience for that. Now, I will say this, all right, because the season pass thing is a joke. They're saying that, well, Rockstar got away with it, and no one complained about them. Really? Where have you been? Because when Rockstar did it, I saw a lot of complaining. And we saw what happened with Rockstar when they did it with LA Noire. What happened? Anybody? Anybody. Oh, guess what? The complete edition's getting ready to come out in November. Yeah. It goes to show you that these games, they will milk you and milk you and milk you and then hit you with a complete edition or a Game of the Year edition or whatever edition. All right? Understand what you're getting yourselves into, people. I'm just saying. Also, in more Uncharted news, you gotta love this. They're going to say that the PS3 won't be able to handle the power of Uncharted 4. Yes, Because you really need you're already complaining about server costs, but you want to amp up the power and everything else on your game. Look, the way I see it, why do you need that much? Why? Is no one happy with Uncharted 1, 2, and possibly 3 coming out? That you need to have more of the graphics and all these explosions? Aren't you just happy with what you have already? Why do you need to push this already for the next generation? They're setting you up to buy a PS4. That's what the fuck it is, all right? I don't understand where people are just not happy. I don't get it. Are you not complacent with what you have already? Oh, we need this right now. No, you don't. You don't. They have yet to harness the full potential of the PS3. We've seen so many bad ports, so many shoddy problems, so many glitches, so many first-day patches, and yet you're ready to move on to the PS4. Makes no sense. If you can't get the shit right on the PS3, why should you even move on yet? I don't understand this. I just don't, all right? But let's move on. Because there's been a lot of people about Batman. This is kind of funny, all right? Batman Arkham City, as we know, has come out. And some of you guys, regardless of what I said, which is fine, you know, you went and bought the game, you didn't, you said you wait, because you know all the information going on, so you are making that decision yourself. I have given you the information to make that, you know, opinion, so that you just don't go blindly into something. But here's something. GameStop is giving away Catwoman codes. That's right, the free Catwoman codes that come with the new games, they're taking them out the box, and if you buy it new, if you buy it used, you'll get a free Catwoman code. Now, we talked about this on fan page, and I thought it was pretty funny because, as you guys said, it's funny because they pulled all the slips for Deus Ex and didn't want you to use them, but they'll give you the Catwoman ones, which is really funny. All right, but let's keep going on because it's been reported that Catwoman missions will only make up 10% of Batman Arkham City. Now, I have a problem with this due to the fact that Catwoman is on the front of the fucking box. All right, you are using her as a storyline, as long with Batman, all right? So you would think that Catwoman would make up more than 10% if you're going to slap her on the front of a fucking box. You get what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense. But let's keep going because there's been tons of complaints. Online Pass for this game, for Batman, we saw it coming. I don't know how you guys didn't see it coming, but the Online Pass is not working. People cannot redeem their codes. They cannot get, they cannot get their DLC. Some of you guys are saying that the Collector's Edition didn't even come with an Online Pass. That's right. So you have to buy the Online Pass still. It's ridiculous, and you should know that this was coming due to the fact that this is WB once again because they messed up with Mortal Kombat on the Online Pass. So you want to push this Online Pass, but you can't even get it straight. I don't understand this. All right, and we saw what happened with Mortal Kombat because they disabled the Online Pass with no problems. Then when they got it back up and running, they enabled it again, which means that this isn't really a factor. They can change this anytime they want. Understand that, guys. Understand that you're being duped. These companies know what they're doing. Let's keep moving on, all right? Because I want to talk about DLC and everything. Before this, here's some news for you guys. Warner Brothers, WB, are going to make more DC Universe games after Batman. So you can get ready for more online passes, more DLC, more milking. Yes, they're going to come up with other superhero games, all right? I guess they'll be standalone. I'm not saying that they're going to have an online game. They're going to have standard game, standalone games. And I can see this getting bad. I understand that Rocksteady, and fuck Rocksteady, because for anyone who saw the interview on YouTube, man, fuck them. Talking about how online passes are the integral part of the business today and all this bullshit, all right? So this wasn't just, as we thought, WB is just doing this and Rocksteady can't say anything. No, Rocksteady is on board with them, all right? And this is what I mean about gamers. You give these developers a little bit of power. You give them a little bit of credit. You buy their game, and all of a sudden, they think they're too big. Now they can screw you. Everyone supported Batman, the first one. You got a full game. It was, what, like $45 when it first came out? It was great, and it was, you got everything on one disc until, the PS3 exclusive free DLC. Remember that? All right, but that wasn't a big deal. However, you got a full game on disc. It was great, and you didn't have anything to worry about because there was nothing to pay for because they weren't even sure if it was going to fly. They weren't sure if it was going to be good, all right? But now, since the new ones come out, they're going to hit you with all these prices, and they're going to hit you with all this DLC and all this milking. Understand you gave them the power, and now they're turning and stabbing you in the back. You can take it away as well. Understand that. So just with DICE not too long ago last week, oh, we need Online Pass for this, and now Naughty Dog's using the same excuse. It's a joke, all right? But speaking of DLC, let's move on, all right? Because it's been reported almost 50% of gamers don't buy DLC. They don't buy DLC. All right, the biggest DLC, I should say, buyer is a person who plays Call of Duty, apparently. And there's a chart in the link in the info bar. There's a chart, and percentage-wise, tells you why gamers don't buy DLC. There's a reason, all right? So companies, all you companies who keep thinking that you make it during regular production, you're holding out on gamers, and that it's going to benefit you in the long run, you're actually hurting yourselves. Only games like Call of Duty have, benefited from this, but other people really haven't that much. And this is the problem, because the first one is talking about how it's not enough content. Yeah, because as we know, when they first announced that they were going to make this DLC program, as we all said, you know, it could prolong, you know, the longevity of a game. And no one had a problem with that. Am I correct? And we were like, okay, it's fine, you know, it's fine, you know. And then all of a sudden, we saw them go the cheap route. It came costumes, color swaps, and all this other crap that they want to give you that's already on the game, locked DLC and carrying on to charge you even more money. They bastardized it, all right? So now you can see gamers aren't very happy about this, and it's in the numbers. I'm just letting you guys know that. Anyways, speaking of more bastardizing, EA, oh my God, EA has manipulated Battlefield 3 scores. That's right, over in Norway. Apparently, reviewers over there, they were withholding scores, and they weren't giving copies to certain places because they thought that they would give them bad reviews. Are you serious? And then EA, of course, EA apologized about it, but as we all know, this shit will happen again. Look, developers, if you can't take criticism in your business, you shouldn't be in it. You know, matter of fact, why don't you just don't give out the copies? How about that? Don't have any review copies whatsoever. If you're going to complain every time someone gives you a bad score, or seriously, I understand there's a lot of money at stake here, but no one told you to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising and all this other bullshit, and you sat here and said that you were going to kill Modern Warfare 3, and slowly but surely, you backed away from that. Now, you're withholding review scores. Yeah, there's something wrong with Battlefield 3 that they're not telling you. There's something wrong with it. All right, now, we'll move on because I want to say something about this. All right, David Jaffe comes out. Yeah, I know, David Jaffe, I know. He comes out and says that betas hurt sales. He says the public multiplayer betas hurt sales, and that there will be no beta for Twisted Metal, which I'm sure some people will be on the fence with it, you know, but let's keep going because he goes on to say, now I want to talk about this, all right? He says, we're doing internal beta now for Twisted Metal. He says, no public one, however. We're using beta to test the test tuning and XP rank up speed and such. Not looking to release what many folks call a beta now, aka, and it says it's aka a demo. First off, I said this to Sega earlier this week because they was using the AKAs. Now, Jaffe, I'll put it like this, man. You're welcome for bringing the AKA to the gaming community. Anyways, it says, although some betas also serve as much needed stress tests, which we all know. All right, it says, because the market as such, I feel many multiplayer beta demos actually hurt sales in many cases. Yeah, because when you don't come out with something that's clean, guess what? People are going to be pissed and not going to buy your product. However, I want to talk about this due to the fact that I told you guys in DC Universe, what did I say when they said you had to pre-order the beta? I said pre-order betas is bullshit because betas are pretty much demos. Yes, like he said, it's for stress testing. We said that, and if there's any bugs, you're supposed to report them, all right? But that's what testers are for. That's exactly what they're for. You're supposed to lean on your testers. But a lot of these companies are throwing away testers like there's nothing to it. And now they're giving to you guys, the gamers, as a beta and then say, okay, tell us if there's anything wrong. That's what they're doing. So they're making you guys the testers now instead of actually using legit testers, which is wrong. All right? But I want to talk about this because I said in DC Universe, you should never have to pay for a demo. You shouldn't have to pay for a beta. You shouldn't have to. All right, that's how they get you money-wise. They're trying to get the numbers up. And Jaffe is pretty much co-signing me on this, saying that a beta is a demo. All right, anybody who's been playing video games for at least 10 years knows how this is going. Remember back in the day when you used to get the PlayStation books and the demos would come with it? Yeah, man. I think I still have one around here, so I'm gonna have to show y'all next week on that. I may have one. But anyways, I want to move on because I told you guys before. It's too much complaining going on with the developers. They're doing too many sneaky tactics, and now gamers are stepping up once again. If you don't know what I'm talking about, a fan-made game is on the rise. Actually, I believe it's out already. The demo is out already. Free to play, I should say. Free to download, all right? Hyrule Total War.
War replay stuff. YouTube pistados. With memes.
That actually looked pretty damn good. And you know what? There's a link in the info bar for you guys who want to try out the demo. Hopefully you download it and try it out. Hurry up, because you never know when Nintendo will try to pull it. They're usually lenient about these type of things, but you never know. Anyways, let's move on, guys. Capcom, that's right, Capcom, we're getting on to them. I haven't talked about them in a while, so you can't say anything. Capcom has managed to piss off the Street Fighter Alpha 3 fans, giving them the bad version and $2.99 avatars. Yes, I know a lot of fans are mad because they gave them the wrong version to port over that had the characters, and there's just a big uproar about it. Seth Killian comes out and explains how they do feedback at Capcom. Apparently, they listen to more Tourney players than they do actual fans. Now, we had this discussion not too long ago on the fan page, and it was a very gray area for me because you have to understand that these games these days, I feel, aren't even fighting games because everything is so muscle memory. Everyone's just trying to get a combo instead of just feeling out your opponent and trying to be in the heat of, the battle. But it seems that they only listen to Tourney players, but it kind of contradicts itself because, as we all know, they look for numbers. They look for masses. We saw this with Devil May Cry not too long ago when they don't want to do a niche crowd. Tourney players are a niche crowd. Let's call it what it is, guys. Let's call it what it is, all right? So you want to pander more to the masses. That's because they want sales, all right? But understand that Tourney players are also gamers too. Gamers, fans, any fan of the game, they play, they're gamers. All their opinions should count. So they're saying, if anyone who has seen, like I said, the link is in the info bar, he explains how he'll listen to a group of fans if there's a core problem or a problem that he himself has experienced, which tells me if you experience that problem, you should just bring it up yourself. You shouldn't wait for the fans to say anything, or just good Tourney players come up and say something, which is a problem. I really have a problem with that. You shouldn't be trying to divide Tourney players and just average fighting fans. You shouldn't be doing that, all right? You're causing a problem. Anyways, let's move on. Capcom news. Resident Evil Revelations is to feature online multiplayer and a street pass. Yeah. All right. Anyways, Capcom comments on Resident Evil Outbreak possibly coming to the PSN. Didn't I just talk about this not too long ago? All right. And also, because of all these problems, because of all this DLC I said before, there's a link in the info bar for you guys. It's good to read. It's kind of fun. It's just for fun. 5 reasons why video game piracy can be justified. All right. Also, in Transformers Universe news, fans to name both factions in 2 in-game playable classes. So they're looking to the fans on this one. Also, in Dark Souls news, now, I know a lot of you guys have been, talking about how great Dark Souls is, and I'm happy that you enjoy the game, all right? But they say Dark Souls sequel will not up the difficulty any further. Did you hear that? Dark Souls sequel. Did you hear that? All right, I just want to say that because of the fact that it seems like this is where they're going. Now, in the interview, they go on to say that, if they get a chance to make a sequel, which we all know they will because it's doing great sales-wise, apparently, so you know what's going to happen. They won't up the difficulty any further, but they won't bump down the difficulty any less either. So understand, you'll be getting the same amount of difficulty that Dark Souls has to offer. All right, God knows what they'll have in store for you guys. Now, also, in some Forza 4 news, I know a lot of gamers have been complaining as of late about their save file being corrupted. Well, there's some instructions in the info bar for you guys on how to, try to avoid that. It's a joke that people are losing. Once again, here we go, not understanding the technology of today, and files are getting corrupted. Anyways, let's keep going. Sega comments on the possibility of Skies of Arcadia coming to PS3. That's right. Square Enix comes out and shows off some photorealistic next-gen engine that they're going to be using. Square, why do you keep pandering the graphics? You've been doing it for God knows how long. Just get the games out. That's all you got to do. Make sure the gameplay is solid and get the games out. Stop fucking around with graphics. That's your problem. That's what's hurt you before. When you tried to come out, what was that, like not Advent Children, I'm sorry, what was that? Spirits Within, and you tried to push all the graphics and carry on. What happened? It almost bankrupted you. That was the second time you almost went bankrupt. And now you're still having problems money-wise, but yet you still keep fucking with the graphics. Stop. Stop, Square. Get back to basics, and you know what? Leave Final Fantasy where it is, and give these other games a chance to breathe. Seriously, Vagrant Story, Parasite Eve, all these other games, give them a chance to breathe. You're just not balancing out how you can use your sales. If you give those other games some time, this will give you more time to make a proper Final Fantasy. I'm just saying, and for those who also don't know, Final Fantasy, I told you guys before, DLC is coming for Final Fantasy, what is it, 13-2? Yeah, you'll have to pay for bosses. Yeah, Ultimate Weapon, you'll have to pay for them. Yeah. Anyways, in more news, there's a new Shadowrun game coming out. I'm sure some fans will be happy with that. Microsoft buys indie developer Twisted Pixel. So once again, we're seeing more indie developers get bought out by bigger companies, all right? Because indie developers is where it's at right now. Blaze Blue Continuum Shift Extend reaches out to North America. Y'all get ready for that. Also, a new Fatal Frame will be coming for the Wii. Yes, it's still in the works. Was it? And also, this is funny. A UK newspaper says that games and Facebook causes dementia in kids. So video games and Facebook causes dementia. Guys, you gotta be kidding me. I don't know why these people are they're still employed. These people who write these garbage articles are still employed. And here's something, because in Gamerfront news, gamers are right now fighting against cystic fibrosis. That's right, and the girl, apparently they're using this one girl as an example because she's a gamer herself, and she has it. And they're asking for donations on how to fight, cystic fibrosis, just to let you guys know. Also, there's a good article that you can read. It's in the info bar. Can video games really change the world? It's a very good write-up. Please, guys, read it. I'm telling you, it's a very great ride. I mean, I'm telling you, gamers are still doing it. And even yours truly this week, and for those who didn't see, yours truly actually helped a gamer.
Hi, so this is just going to be my next video. This one is just more of a shout out to a really great person on YouTube. His name is Event Status. Check out his channel. It's great. He's really cool. He gives us all this news and stuff. But I just wanted to give a shout out to him and just show him how much he's been helping out lately. So I said that the articles that you've been telling us about I've been doing for my CE articles, and it's been giving me good grades. I don't know if you can see this, but my paper, it says, one second, wait, alright, Social Studies A+, for my current event articles, which are all from things that you have told me about. I looked this up, so I wouldn't have known any of those things without you, and I wanted to thank you. And now I have an A+ for Social Studies. As you can see, I need to work on the other classes. Thanks, Event. Keep up the good work, and yeah, I think you should get a .com. YouTube just isn't enough. Alright, bye.
Now, before anyone gets it twisted, say, oh, Event, you're just trying to big yourself up. No, I'm not. I don't need any thanks. I don't need to hear that I'm the man. I don't even need this, all right? That's not what I'm trying to show you guys. What I'm trying to show you guys is that if we stick together and if we do things positively, we can rub off on other people in society. It helps them positively. Every time you see something happen with gaming when it affects somebody, it's what? People being negative, whether it's whatever system you have or whatever platform you like better, or just because someone's not as good as in a game as someone else. That's all you ever see. That's childish. And I want to talk about this for a minute because there's been a lot of childish things as of late. You guys on these forums, I have to sit here and say this because I've said it before, I'll say it again. You guys keep saying, well, I don't care if it affects anyone else, I'll just buy it for myself. You have to understand that that actually affects you in the long run. And you're being quite dickish about it. Understand, without gaming communities, none of this works. Yes, and because that forum that you're on and you're saying it on that forum, you're actually disrespecting that gaming community. Won't you understand? This is not just about you. It's about all of us. All right? Without a gaming community, these developers wouldn't even be making games. That's right, because I put it like this, if the gaming community didn't buy Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2 wouldn't be around, Uncharted 3 wouldn't be around, and so on, and so on. It's almost like a pyramid scheme. Understand, the fans are at the bottom because that's exactly where they keep us, all right? Because no one's stepping up to go any higher, all right? They keep us at the bottom while developers are here. If the fans walk away from a said product or whatever franchise, guess what? It all falls down. That's what you have to understand. Gaming communities, it's about us. It's about all of us. All right? And we should treat each other with respect. But if you're going to be a dick about things, then you don't deserve to be in a gaming community. It's really that simple. Some of these guys don't even deserve to be on YouTube, but they're still on here. And there's idiots out there who will listen to them for some reason. But I guess every person will have a fan somewhere. All right? But understand, guys, that without a gaming community, this does not work. And because the developers are trying to put us against each other, they're actually hurting themselves, as I've shown you already. Earlier in the video, I've shown you already. All right? Putting us against each other hurts. If we stay together, we can actually get things done. But what do I know? All these people are still talking on as how they're better than such and such because they can play a game better or whatever. It's a joke when you see these forums. It's very childish. Seriously, grow up and learn what this is about. Understand what this is about. Like I said, the days of just playing games and just you want, yeah, that's over. That's over. But you don't want to hear that. All right? Oh, you're just poor. You don't want to play. Please. It has nothing to do with that. Like I've said before to you guys, I'm about to use game in 8 years. All right? 8 years plus, maybe. All right? So it has nothing to do with that. But it's out of principle. And you got to be able to stand up for something you believe in. And you have to draw a line somewhere. You can't let these developers just keep sticking it to you. Seriously, that's what they're doing. All right? And some of you guys are just gladly to go along with it, which makes no sense to me. I give you the information. Hey, if you make that choice, then by all means. But understand the repercussions of it, all right? Because like I said, if you buy a certain game and you know DLC is coming, you know all this shit is coming, you're actually hurting me and others who are against it. That's what you fail to realize. And then you empower those developers to say, hey, well, enough people we feel bought it so we can keep doing it. No, that's not how it works. And as we see now, slowly but surely, it's going away because those numbers are dropping when it comes to DLC. Anyways, guys, It's been a good week, once again. Like I said, positive news. I like to see it. It makes it fun for me to do these videos when we have more positive news. I'll talk to y'all then. Y'all be safe. Y'all have a good weekend. I'm out.
There is a problem, Mr. Tokai, on the second sub-level. Behavioral problem. People are acting strange. It is probably just a leak in the ventilation system. Some kind of chemical contamination.
Don't worry, Doc. If there's any threat, we know good and well how to handle it. We've been trained to use these babies.
Stop him! When it all started, we didn't even notice the contamination.
I had a life there. Not a perfect one, but peaceful. Every bullet makes you feel less tense, doesn't it? Albert Tokai, 34 years old. Albert Tokai, 34. Psychiatrist. Albert Tokai, pharmacologist.
You have your orders, Mr. Tokai.
It's not a simple psychological problem, that's for sure.
Enemy sighted! Kill him!
Tired already, Doc?
Here they are!
I don't know what you're talking about, Tokai, but you're right about one thing. It's all over. Because everyone's dead.